Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Rebuilding Fulham. Now then, we are mid-March, and as you know, every year I like to do an episode on the youth intake. I like to do it straight after, while we can still consider them a youth intake team, which I believe at this stage we can. There was a game on the day of the youth intake, which we will come on to in a minute, but first we're going to take a little look at the players we've got this year, and I think this could be our best year yet for youth intake. This is what we've managed to get ourselves. Now, the last couple of years, last year we had basically no one. Our first year we had a guy called Scott Carter who could potentially turn into a decent player. Last year things were a bit poor. This year we've got a couple. We've actually got a couple of players. I'm going to look at this one first, Andy Buxton. He is a centre midfielder, 3-star potential, which in the team we've got now is actually good Barclays Premier League centre midfielder. So yeah, decent enough player. Well, let's get back onto that then. Decent enough player. His best roles at the moment are box-to-box and ball-winning midfielder, and we do use a ball-winning midfielder in our team. In fact, I believe we use 2 of them. So there's that. Let's just have a look at his abilities for the... I can't remember what we have one. I think we have one on both, but mental stats, fantastic for that role. Physicals, they'll improve with age. Attributes, he needs a lot of training on his marking, passing, and tackling, like a lot of training, but his mental stats are already excellent. Work rate and teamwork, he is going to be, if we can get his attributes up, his technicals up, there could be a chance for him to be an alright player. But the one I'm really excited about is this guy, John Spencer. Now, he is a wing-back, like just straight out wing-back. He can play at right-back, but not quite as well. So what I've immediately done is put him on complete wing-back training and new position right back, because I want to make sure that he can actually play there, because the fact is he's a very, very good player for this role. Now, crossing 10, not bad considering he's 15. He's got good acceleration and good stamina. Decent anyway, enough. Work rate, again, pretty damn decent. Decisions, not very good. Flair could do a bit better. Positioning and teamwork, not bad either. Could still do it a bit more. Marking and tackling, though. And also his dribbling is really, really poor at the moment. So, again, he could take some... I don't know. He's got potential, and his potential for us is a leading Premier League wing-back. So, it's decent. It's decent. I don't know... Obviously, I don't think this series is going to be around long enough to see how this guy develops, simply because we have FM15 coming out very, very soon now. And the moment that that beta drops, I'm going to do a video on it. In fact, I'm going to do a video... The moment I get it, I'm going to download it, pop it up, and from the moment that the game loads, I will be recording, basically. I'm just going to let you guys see what I see when I first load the game. Obviously, I'll cut out all the silly, long loading screens. And believe me, they will be long, because this is my computer we're talking about. Yeah. So, that is our youth intake this year, basically. I'm still surprised that we're not getting some slightly better youth players. So I would love to see someone really, really high quality. But again, Fulham's youth academy just isn't that good. Or it's good, but not that good yet. I have been improving it, but again, we don't have enough time to actually make that happen. However, we will now take a look at the fixtures for this month, and to see whether we are still hanging on to the position we last occupied. Now, our last game, I think it was away at Wigan was the last game you all saw, after our poor little run in the league, which actually meant that we lost 4 out of 5 away games in a row. Thankfully, that got a lot of away games out of the way, but it did certainly put us in the mixer for that potential. We could drop right out of it, basically. We were never going to catch Chelsea. I just wanted to see if we could get top 6, hopefully top 4, because the fact is we've been here all season. We deserve to be here. Now, I'm going to see which episode shall we choose as our highlight one for this episode. We'll decide as we go along, basically. I don't think it's going to be this one. Basically, this is an annoying one again. We've done this a couple of times against Bournemouth. We did this in the Championship when we played them after we'd really started to get going, in the sense that we blasted our way into a 4-0 lead here with goals from Mariga, then a Shane Lowry own goal, Costas Fortounis getting straight back in there, and Costas Motroglu, of course, getting another one for us. He's been brilliant. And then we kind of just sat off. I didn't tell them to, they just kind of did, and maybe we should have changed to a more defensive strategy. I just don't see the point when you're 4-0 up. I like to try and get as many goals as possible, and maybe that is a downside, and that is why Tuchedin was able to get in there and make it 4-2 in the end, which is a little bit shit when you consider how poor they were for most of that game. But oh well, a win is a win is a win. Next, we were at home to Southampton. This was an unfortunate game. I'd really hoped we could get the win here, and frankly we deserved to. Fortounis, yet again, now that he's back, he is firing on all cylinders. He looks like one of my favourite signings so far this year. As much as I've enjoyed Franco Zuccolini's work in the midfield, Fortounis looks like a right player. And it's just as well because of the way that Larsen's been getting injuries. It's good that obviously Fortounis has had injuries too, but it definitely helps to have him in there. Unfortunately, a late equaliser from Shane Long cost us that game, and again, thing is, in this one I did actually go defensive when it got to the last few minutes, because they did start having a couple of shots, and I thought, well, let's just stop that. Couldn't do it. Could not do it. Next up, though, we had a strange one. And in fact, I think I might actually show you the highlights of this one, simply because it was a little bit different. We had an away game in the 6th round of the FA Cup against Hull City, so I decided that it'd be a good idea to go ahead and just play our reserves. If you look at our lineup, Ronel Hoogland, for crying out loud, Casasola, this has been bugging me, Spiridonidis, Trash, Ryan Tunnicliffe, Scott Parker, of all people, club captain, but not for much longer. Fortounis did play in this game. Meyer, Odegaard, and Alcacer. Obviously on the bench we had a few of the qualities, but we also had David Strand, who did actually come on. But let's just jump straight to the highlights, and I will talk you through some of the goals. I will see you guys in the highlights. Hi guys, here we are in the highlights. Now, I feel we were very, very lucky. Well, I say lucky, if you look at the amount of shots Hull had, they had 20 shots, 9 on target. We had only 9 shots, 6 on target, but look, all 6 of our shots on target were clear-cut chances, and my god did we take them. There's some players there desperate to prove things. Mayer's ball slipped through, Fortounis made it 1-0 to us, and I thought, okay, we've got something to hang on to. It was 2 minutes into the game at this point, so there was no sort of signs of what was to come. 17 minutes in though, Trash with the ball on the wing brings it into Odegaard. We eventually lost the ball in the midfield, but we were actually very, very good at winning it back in today's game. Plus, Hull did miss-hit quite a few passes. Spiridonidis and Casasola did well to keep a clean sheet, basically keep a clean sheet, which was great to see. And Ronel was good. I like playing him in there. He's getting some experience. Odegaard's ball in, and, well, Sebastian Meyer, the man we got from St. Pauli, who's not had a lot of game time because of the sheer amount of players in those positions, has been playing in the Cups, and frankly, he's been doing a brilliant job, and I do think he could potentially come in useful next year if we're going to be playing in Europe. Odegaard's ball in here, headed away. It was a poor ball in from Odegaard. Julesgaard, of course, was dropped for this one, and there was no Thomas Drager either, which meant that Odegaard was taking a lot of the set pieces for this one. Ryan Tunnicliffe did well today, though. Tunnicliffe's ball there, lovely ball around the midfield. Tunnicliffe just playing it in nicely. Meyer flicks it on, Alcacer, bang, across the top. Fortounis back across to Meyer, who made it 3-0, and this was just after half-time, and I thought, well, that's game wrapped up. At which point, we decided to make some changes and bring on the likes of 16-year-old David Strand, or Strand. I don't know how his name's pronounced. Trash gets it into Parker, back to Meyer, and Meyer was dropping deep and then making these long runs. Fortounis straight through, bang. They had 2 each at this point. 64 minutes in, 4-0 up away at Hull. Fortounis and Meyer have 2 each. I really hoped that one of them could complete a hat-trick in this game. And thankfully, just 3 minutes after that, we worked it out from the back, and I got my wish, frankly. Trash's ball in to Tunnicliffe, into Lucci, who we'd brought on as a sub because he's not been getting much game time. Out to Kacaniklic, who had come on, of course, as well. Whips it across, and Fortounis getting into the far post, which he's done really, really well this season. His back post headers have been great. And that was that. 5-0 to Fulham. Wonderful performance. Generally one of the best performances of this season. And that was a B team. And it was great because it gave us, even though we had plenty of time to rest, it gave us even longer rests for most of these players to the Everton game away from home at Goodison Park, and I did not see this result coming. I thought we would actually struggle, but Everton have been really, really poor this year. In fact, I think they are dropping down towards the relegation zone at the moment, so there's some real trouble. Now, this one got off to a very, very quick start with Zuccolini actually putting us in front. And then Martin Odegaard made it 2 not long afterwards. Unfortunately, inside that first half, a Sebastian Giovinco penalty got Everton back in when they really didn't deserve it, and then a Martin Stecklenburg calamity own goal from a corner. I couldn't believe it. We were suddenly 2-2, and that's the first time that we'd actually surrendered a 2-goal lead in any game since I've been a manager, so I worried that we were going to end up pissing it up. Didn't. We did not. Straight into the second half, Mitroglou steps up 3-2, and then less than 10 minutes later, Franco Zuccolini scored an identical version of his first goal. He scored 2 goals. Basically, they were both whipped balls in from Julesgaard at the near post, and Zuccolini headed them both in. He has been, just twice in one game. Great to see him getting goals. Not really what he's in the team for, but my God, it was great to see it. And that near post corner, they are definitely what I like to see. I like to see near post corners because you either get a flick on or you get a go at goal. Apologies. So we won another game. And that then, 7 points from 3 games suddenly pushed us back up the league. We then had to go away to Spurs twice in a row. Now, the first one, we really did give it a good crack. And as you'll see, Zuccolini, and I'll tell you what, the goal that Zuccolini scored in this game was, once again, exactly the same as the ones it was near post corner, headed in from Zuccolini. He's done that 3 times in a row, and was definitely worth it. Spurs were shocking, and this is the ultimate smashing goal. As much as it says 9 shots, they were terrible. They had 2 shots on target, two clear-cut chances, Eric Lamella's goal and Harry Kane's goal. We battered them, and I thought to myself, if we don't take our chances, we're going to get turned over here, and that's exactly what happened. Really, really annoyed me, because Spurs are really flying into that battle for, well, the top 4 or 5 places, basically. Then we had to go back to White Hart Lane in the Cup. Now, I played a massively changed side here, because we needed to have fit players ready, basically, and I decided to just go ahead and play our changed squad against Ronel, Trash, Cosasola, Baloko, basically the same team that played against Hull, with the exception of Baloko, who came in as well. Although he may have, but I don't know, did he play against Hull? I can't remember. Unfortunately, this one did not follow that kind of pattern. Harry Kane's goal quickly added to by a Casasola own goal, and then an Eric Lamela goal. We did get one back for Odegaard, but Mrs. Dembele put the game to bed. Well, it was already pretty much to bed, which is a shame. We weren't good, but we weren't expected to get any further than the last round, so I wasn't really too bothered about going out at this point, and it meant that we had players fresh for the QPR game at home. Wow. How did we not win this? Seriously, look at this. 22 shots, 10 on target, no goals, not a single goal. We dominated them, and that was infuriating, because we put out a proper, good, strong side. Zuccolini did get a knock and actually did miss quite a few games, like talking 3 or 4 games after this. He's going to be out for 3 or 4 games, rather, he hasn't missed it. He's only missed 1 game. Not that we missed him that much. Stekelenburg also got an injury in the Spurs game here, I think. Or in training somewhere around this time, which meant, of course, or somewhere around here, because he played the QPR game, didn't concede. Then he kept a clean sheet at home to Manchester City. Don't ask me how he did this, because it was a belting performance from him. City were better than us on the day, which is surprising, because they've been utterly awful in the league. But Kacaniklic's goal, added to by Kostas Fortounis, again, meant that we won 2-0. And now where does that put us in the league? Well, we're still second. We're actually 4 points clear of United. They do have a game in hand, though, and they are running us tight. Arsenal in there too, Newcastle, Spurs, and technically QPR still involved in that battle, really. Although Liverpool and Sunderland aren't that far behind either. City, you'll see, though, reigning champions, down in 10th in the league, so that's normal. Everton really are starting to slide. They've been genuinely falling off the pace for quite some time now, I think. Oh, no, maybe not. Sorry, I just assumed because of the health season they've actually been going up, but they've not had a good year at all. Liverpool started off poor, but have started to turn things around now and are really starting to challenge. QPR have kind of been there or thereabouts, but if you look at us and Chelsea, once we got into those 1-2 positions, we've just been stuck there. Nobody's been able to dislodge us, and I really hope that we can actually finish second. That would be amazing. But as it is, I'm not holding out too much hope for that. Now, obviously, we've not lined up any big signings. I don't know if you managed to scout anyone new that we were going to potentially bring in at all. Let's just have a little gander. I can't remember. Did we manage to... No, we didn't. Still won't let me change that. Very annoying. The board will not let me put that onto there, even though we've got 83,000 quid a week that I could just dump onto there and get rid of that. And it's affecting their opinion of my handling of the club, which is a pain in the arse. But oh well, that happens. Right, let's have a look at the stats before we end the episode. Yulsgaard is the top appearance maker. Big surprise there. Most goals, Matroga with 18, but Fortounis is now our second best scorer. Let's just turn that off, because we've got the filters on again. I just noticed that Veton Barish has got loads of goals. That's good to see, though. Second best scorer is now Fortounis, and he's scored those 11 goals in a really small amount of games. Only 24 matches. He's scoring almost every other game for us, which is brilliant for a right-sided attacking midfielder. Most assists, Yulsgaard has now got 16 assists this season. He's been brilliant. His set-piece delivery has been part of the reason we have scored something. I'm going to show you that in a sec, actually. Most amount of the matches, Yulsgaard as well up there. And Mariga, of course, 83. Zuccolini also up there. Most yellow cards, also Zuccolini. And I still don't think we've had a red card this season. No. Best average rating, Fortounis now is 7.21. Deserve it. But look at this. Brian Tunnicliffe has filled in for a few games, and he's actually created 4 goals in those 10 games. And done fairly decent. His pass rating's pretty poor considering the role he's playing. It should be above 80. But he's been pretty damn creative, and he's actually done alright considering how poor of a player he is compared to the rest of the squad. So good for him on that one. Now, the one thing I did want to show you is just testament to how good the set-piece delivery is. Conceded, right, goal scored from corners, Fulham. 17 goals we've scored from corners this season. 17! We've got that set-piece thing absolutely nailed. I think we've conceded a lot from corners, though, too. Yes, 7. So we need to work on our defensing, that's a word, our defensive side of things. But hopefully, if we can work on that for next season, we could have a real go at this. I'm still amazed at how we're even doing what we're doing. But there we are. Matroglu up there with 17 goals, is one of the top scorers in the league, and Yulsgaard is joint best assister. All Chelsea players on average rating, and that's not surprising. Look, 55 goal difference, just horrifically good. No one's going to get near them. They're going to win the title within the next few games, you'd probably say. Anyway, that's about that. Let's just have a look. Well, basically, you know what games are going to be played in the next episode, because it's the rest of them. It's going to be quite a big old bunch, actually, so that might be quite a long episode, and we obviously will be showing you a highlight. But the key for that, for us, is that we've got a home game against Sunderland. Well, we've got 4 home games and 3 away games. And all of these games are potentially winnable games. So hopefully we can not screw this up too badly. That's just the hope. Anyway, if you like what you've seen, hit the like button. If you liked it even more than that, hit that big old subscribe button. And until next time, guys, bye-bye.